Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction horror film, The Platform. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. In the near future dystopia, there exists the vertical self-management center, known as the Pit. Goring comes to the Pit for an interview. He has heard about the official propaganda. Being a university student full of romanticism, he is willing to experience life in prison in the hope of giving up smoking. The interviewer tells him that each prisoner is permitted one personal item inside, and won't be set free until the completion of the 6-month term imprisonment. Goring chooses to take the book Don Quixote, as a good book is a good friend for a man with noble character. Soon he is put into the Pit. Goring finds himself on level 48, where he meets his cellmate, a much older man. The old man welcomes the newcomer, and congratulates him for being lucky to be on the 48th level. When the lifting platform descends and stops at their level, it's time to eat. The old man reminds Goring to eat as much as he can within the fixed period of time. Goring's dignity doesn't allow him to eat the disgusting leftovers on the platform. While the old man wolfs down his meal, Goring picks up an apple, just in case he's hungry. Soon their eating time is over, and the platform descends to the next level. Goring feels the temperature rises abruptly. The old man tells him to throw away the apple, as the Pit doesn't allow the prisoners to preserve food. The temperature will rise or drop abruptly as a punishment if they find any prisoner doing so. When Goring throws the apple down, the temperature turns normal. Goring begins to regret his choice. While they are going to sleep, the platform ascends to the top all of a sudden. The old man explains it is to prevent the prisoners from climbing to the upper level. The prisoners here depend on food brought to them once a day, by the lifting platform from the upper level to the down level. So the prisoners at the upper cells can have fresh and untouched foods. Goring asks more questions about the Pit, and tells the old man his story that he came by his own will, and selected a book to bring inside. The old man feels shocked by that and shares his story too. He was confined here because he killed a man by accident, and his term is 1 year. The personal item he brings with him is a dagger. He says it will come in handy one day. On the third day, Goring can't resist hunger. He begins to eat regardless of disgust. After stuffing his stomach full, the old man pours his stink water onto the leftovers. When Goring tries to stop him, he says none is certain that the upper prisoners don't do so. The next day, descending with a lifting platform, is a woman in a hopeless mess. The old man stops Goring's helping hand, and warns him not to get involved with her. She looks for her missing son in vain every day. As time passes by, Goring and the old man become close friends. Soon it is the end of a month, time to reassign the cells. It is the rule of the Pit that they put the prisoners under anesthesia by gas, and randomly reassign the cells each month. When Goring wakes up in the morning, he finds himself tied to the bed. The old man did it to him, as they are at level 171 now, which means there'll be completely nothing left for them to eat. Adept at the law of the jungle, the old man knows how to survive. But he won't eat him until the last moment. Now Goring knows the use of the dagger, and his good book is useless in this world. The last moment comes very soon. The old man decides to begin with Goring's leg. This way Goring will bleed less and remain alive, so that his flesh is fresh rather than rotten. While the old man is cutting Goring's leg for meat, the platform stops with a woman looking for her son, sitting on empty plates. She throws a wine bottle at the old man, hits him on the head, and sets Goring free. Losing his mind in sharp pain, Goring grabs the dagger, and stabs the old man to death. He survives the remaining 20 or so days, depending on the old man's corpse. At last, it's the end of another month. When he arouses from anesthesia, Goring is content to find himself at the 33rd level. However, his new cellmate is actually the interviewer. Suffering from terminal cancer, she comes here also as a volunteer with her dog, in an attempt to experience the Pit, which she has been working with, but never really spent time in. Level 33 is apparently an upper level, which means Goring's life this month will be much easier. The interviewer can't believe Goring's terrifying stories happened in these past 2 months. As an idealist, she thinks if everyone takes his fair share, the food will surely reach the bottom level, but Goring denies her. The interviewer decides to give it a try. At every meal, she speaks aloud to the prisoners at the upper and the lower levels, telling everyone to take his fair share only, so that all of them can have enough food to eat. But she highly overrates people's spontaneous solidarity. Half a month passes by, she hasn't got any understanding from the prisoners. Seeing the interviewer in despair, Goring decides to make a change. He speaks aloud to level 34, threatening if they eat more than they should, without consideration of the people below, he'll butter the food with the interviewer's smelly shit and stink water, rather than his own. Those below are astonished to hear that, and it works finally. Prisoners right below them start to obey the rule. But nobody can ensure everyone strictly complies with the rule in such a deep pit. The next day, the platform stops at level 33, with a woman looking for her son. She is dying, and Goring and the interviewer saves her. The interviewer reminds Goring that the prison won't accept children under the age of 15, which means the woman must have a mental illness. At night, the woman eats up the interviewer's yummy dog raw, which is a deadly blow to the interviewer. And thanks to that deadly blow job, she finally finds her efforts to promote her idealists in the cannibalistic abyss are totally turned in vain. Soon the end of the second month is coming. One day, Goring finds in surprise his favorite dish untouched. The interviewer tells him that all the dishes are carefully prepared by the chefs up on the ground. Every prisoner has the right to choose his favorite dish before coming into the pit. Had everyone eaten only his own dish, the food would have reached the very bottom, and no one would have been left in hunger. But now it's impossible to turn back the situation anyway. The interviewer gives up her perseverance. At the end of the month, Goring finds himself at level 202, and the interviewer hanged herself. Goring survives the third month, depending on her corpse. The next month, Goring rises to the 6th level and enters the upper class of the prisoners. His new cellmate is a Christian named Baharat. Both of them want to break the rules of the pit. So they start by communicating with the prisoners above. Baharat's plan is to climb up to the top with a rope, but when he is about to reach the prisoners at the 5th level, he is humiliated by those men's smelly shits and hormones. He falls in shock, which almost kills him. Both of them realize that if they want to break the rules, they must be the ones who make new rules. They decide to take advantage of their upper-class position, and take a lift to distribute food equally for the prisoners at each level below. Goring estimates there should be around 250 floors in the pit. They pick up the weapons, and begin their drastic revolution. Goring decides to distribute food starting from level 51, as prisoners above have enough food every day, so it doesn't matter if they skip one meal. As for anyone who protests, they bash him with a stick. And they meet a wise man, who suggests that wisdom is better than their violence. Even if they can make sure the food is available till to the bottom, they still can't guarantee the administration on the ground knows the rules were broken. Under his suggestion, the two decide to keep the most appealing panna cotta untouched, hoping that when the lift reaches the ground, the administration will be shocked to see a dish remaining untouched. So they start again to distribute food for the prisoners from level 51. The reform goes smoothly as planned, until when they reach level 250. They are surprised to find out it is still endless down below. There's almost nothing left on the plates. But fortunately, there seems almost no life below level 250. Down there, every level is bloody as hell. Then they hear a scream for help. They descend further and see two men killing the woman, who is looking for her son. So they have a fight against them. Finally, they defeat the two men, but they are also heavily wounded. Then they continue to descend, keeping in mind the panna cotta untouched, which was the hope as a signal to the administration. Holding the precious panna cotta in hands, they finally reach the bottom, level 333. They are disappointed at seeing nobody, when they spot a little girl under the bed. She stares at the panna cotta very hungrily. After struggling in his mind, the kind Baharat passes it to the girl, and she devours it up. Because of severe wounds, both of them are in a daze, not knowing whether it's a dream or reality. Right before the platform is about to ascend, Baharat dies of too much bleeding. Goring realizes that the little girl who survives at the very bottom is actually herself a signal for breaking the rules, so he carries the girl onto the platform. However, the lift descends further downward, as if into the endless abyss of darkness, before it eventually stops. There Goring steps down, and walks into the darkness and hopelessness, while the girl on the platform rises rapidly towards the ground. In the final scene, however, instead of the little girl who's just an incarnation of hope, hallucinated by the two men before they're dying, the panna cotta reaches the ground, untouched. The surprised chef in charge scolds his men for the untouched dish they've carefully prepared, believing that the prisoners were unwilling to take it due to the contamination that happened in their kitchen. It's implied that no matter how many efforts people of lower classes struggle with to fight for changes against such an advanced and solidified hierarchy, people of upper classes, living a stereotypical life based on their own ways of thinking, tend to ignore any demand for changes from them. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.